It is December the 22nd, 2025, and straight from the Highly Caffeinated Studio, this is According to Willie B. And I am your host for the next half hour. So I want to bring to your attention, in case you hasn't realized it, just like I did, and I actually didn't realize it until I checked stats this morning. And today makes episode number 50, the Big 50. So that's really cool. Like I really can't believe that this is episode number 50. I can't believe that I've jumped on here now 50 times and had things to say. So everybody's always said, how can you not think that you wouldn't have something to say? You've always got something to say. Well, I guess that's true. I wear the crown well, I guess I should say. But for today's episode, because I haven't had a trip recently to talk about, other than I went to Florida last week. But, you know, we've kind of talked about Florida. We've kind of really discussed Florida. So we're going to let Florida lie because it really didn't see or do anything grandiose. So no need to talk about that. But there is something on my mind. Shocker, huh? Well, here it is. So when I say the word tourist trap, what comes to your mind? What is your mental definition, if you will, of a tourist trap? Now, Webster / Google says it is any business that is in a high tourist area. It's usually, there's a lot of different descriptions, but it basically, between Google, Webster, and Wikipedia, they all say it's overpriced, a lot of times not delivering on the expectations that are hyped up in their marketing and things like that. So we all kind of know in our own mind what our own version of a tourist trap is. It means we're going to spend a lot of money and we're not going to get the value for our money that we were expecting, even if we knew it was a tourist trap going in. Well, you know, the more I thought about this, it's more than just that definition. And I thought, you know what? I want to do a podcast on this because this is a fly in my bonnet. Not that I wear a bonnet, but if I had a bonnet, it would be a fly in my bonnet, or it's a fly in the ointment, as they say. Here's why. There are, in the top 20 of Google tourist traps, the top 20 tourist traps in the U.S. are some of my favorite destinations. I'm going to give you one in particular that I just went to, and it was in that great BFF trip, and that was Times Square in New York City. I'm like, really? That's a tourist trap? Okay. I guess I can see why some people may think that. I mean, it's a lot of, but you know, you can say it's overpriced, but it's a major city and it's a very traveled city. So I don't know that definition really fits that. So here's what I'm going to talk about tonight. I'm going to talk about, is it a tourist trap or is it a must see? Now I'm going to throw another fly in the ointment when I tell you it can be both. Yeah, that's right. You know what? Just go ahead and buckle your seatbelt, because I'm probably going to throw some more things in there in this conversation about this that's going to be like a fart in a diving helmet. Nevertheless, there are some things that need to be said. Because when you go to book travel, I want you to be prepared. I'm going to give you some. I didn't come empty-handed. I come with a full-loaded gamut of analogies and case documented studies that I have done over the last 15 minutes. I'm kidding about that. Here's what I'm talking about, folks. One of the areas that we had an absolute phenomenal time in on our great BFF trip was Clifton Hill in Canada. Now, there are literally, I'm not just fudging a number here, literally hundreds of videos on YouTube. Go check it out. All you got to do is just type in Clifton Hill, Clifton Hill, Hill. And you will get so many videos, it's unreal. Now, there will be a few that talk about all the things that there are to do. But you're also going to be inundated with videos that say, this is a major tourist trap. Avoid this place at all costs. Don't even go there. Drive around. Go to another country. Do whatever, but avoid Clifton Hill. And that was one of our favorite parts of the 10-day trip, was that Clifton Hill. Here's the thing. Is it a tourist trap, or is it a must-see? Yes. Yes, it is. It is both. Would I go back? I already told you in the 10-part series that yes, I would definitely go back. Our whole group would go back to that. So, is it overpriced? Yes. It's a tourist destination. Name me one tourist destination. Just one. I tell you what, I'm going to put this challenge out there. You got my email. You know the website, www.accordingtowillieb.com. You can leave me a comment on there. You can comment on any of our social media pages. I'm going to put this out there, and I am not going to back down from this. If you can name me one, just one, tourist attraction that is not overpriced, yeah, I got a surprise for you. I'll send you something. It may be this can of jelly beans on my desk, but I will send you something. Now, why do I say that? Because just like Clifton Hill, the place was so cool. The problem is social media. And why do I say that? Well, here's the thing. We all become experts when it comes to jumping on social media. We eat somewhere and it's horrible, or it's great, or it's okay, or I thought this was the best. Folks, I've seen and heard it all in everybody's opinions, and that is what it is. And that's why I've said since day one on this podcast, on this program, I have said that According to Willie B is a opinionated podcast, because it is my opinions that I'm giving you on what my experience was, whether I ate it, I went and seen it, I rode on it, I flew in it, whatever the case may be. I'm giving you my opinion on what I thought of it. Now, you may go and go to the exact same attraction that I didn't really find all that grandeur. You may go and say, oh my God, Will's crazy. This place was awesome. So we have to allow ourselves to have an opinion of different places to visit, but we have to remember when we're on the listening side that we are remembering that is someone's opinion, and it may not carry a lot of weight. So there's that. I'm going to give you another one. So one of the things that I will tell you straight up, this place is a tourist trap 100%. Would I say it's both? Would I say it's a tourist trap and a must-see? Well, it all depends on what you like. And here it is. You're driving through Florida, and I'm sure there are other states that have them, but you're driving through Florida, or you're driving through Georgia, and you're going to be just blasted with billboards. And here it comes. You're driving through Georgia. You got to take exit 374 and see Georgia Peach World. You go through Florida, you'll be seeing 500 billboards. At exit $2.98. You've got to see Citrus World. See our baby live baby gator. Well, would you be bragging on it if it wasn't live? If it was stuffed and mounted on a block of wood? I mean, but let me tell you why I will stop at every single one of them, because I love them. They are the coolest places to stop for a couple of reasons. Number one, you've been traveling down the interstate for hours. You've been looking forward to your fuel stops, food stops, bathroom stops, just to get out of the driver's seat for a few minutes. And that's what those places are. But they're more than just a fuel stop. They allow you to let your mind kind of go on a vacation for a minute and check out all the cool stuff they have. Because let me tell you, you'll find some of the most oddball items you'll ever imagine in these places. Case in point, Florida Citrus World. There's multiple locations. Where else on the planet Earth can you go and buy a 12-inch plastic back scratcher with a plastic alligator head on top of it? You can't go down to TJ Maxx or Ross and find an item like that. There's no way. You can only get it from a place like Citrus World. It may be cheesy, but it's cool, and I've got them right. I got one right here on my desk. I mean, I think it's the coolest thing. You know, do I wind up and collect some of the goofiest things you can ever imagine? Yes, I do, because that is just my personality, and I don't apologize for it. But let me tell you, it doesn't take much for me to have a good time. I can be my own entertainment, whether I'm traveling alone or there's 10 people in the car, and that's just me. So there's that. But okay, so back to my point. I'm getting off on a rabbit trail here. So you've got these mega billboards all over Florida and all over Georgia advertising Georgia Peach World and Florida Citrus World. And that is 100% a tourist trap. And I wouldn't even come to you and say, no, this is a combo. This is a combo deal. You're going to get it's a tourist trap, but it's also a must see. Let me tell you, what makes it a tourist trap is they do not, this is where I'm going to borrow part of Google's definition. They do not rely on repeat customers. If they see you again, they're probably shocked because you spent $49 the last time you stopped in there and you did not get your money's worth. But, you know, it's still a cool place to stop. Is it a must-see? For me, yes. For the most of the world, probably not. Are there more people like me out there? I would like to think so, that I'm not the only goofball, but, you know, hey, I could be the only one. I don't know. Maybe I'm one of those varieties that's going extinct. I mean, I doubt it, but my thing is, what do I tell you when you travel? You have to make your own memories, and the memories that you're going to remember most are in the miles. I've said it many times. The memories are in the miles. So try to get as many memories in those miles as you can, because that is what you're going to remember from your vacation. You think I haven't told other people the fact that I did spend $7.95 on a plastic stick with a plastic alligator head on it as a back scratcher? You don't think I tell people, hey, I got a back scratcher. It's got a little alligator head on it. Absolutely. And in the way I tell the story, I'm proud of it. I don't know which is worse, the fact that I bought it or the fact that I'm proud of it. Either way, you know, it's a great memory. I remember stopping there. And, you know, I've told you that I like to buy different jams and jellies everywhere I go. And that's usually what my wife will do while I'm shopping for back scratchers and colorful rocks or whatever else, goofy stuff that they have in there. She's over there picking up some jams and jellies, sticking them in a bag, and come home. It's like, oh yeah, I bought you this jelly and I bought you this jam. And hey, every time I have breakfast, you better believe it, I crack open one of them jars of jam or jelly, and man, it's really good stuff. Unless you get the ones that have a lot of sure gel in it. It's like Chinese buffet Jello, You can actually cut it into slices, but but like I said, you can't run down to TJ Maxx and get this stuff. So you have to find places like that. So there are places that are both a tourist trap, and I actually don't like that word. I don't think it is. Honestly, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't believe that the word tourist trap should exist, because everybody has a different opinion. Can you imagine going into an ice cream shop and they only had vanilla? I mean, that's why there's like a billion flavors of ice cream, because there's so many different personalities that like the different flavors of ice cream. And it's the same thing with tourist attractions, where a lot of people found Clifton Hill to be a tourist trap because they don't feel like you get your value for your money. And in some instances, they are correct. And they probably don't rely on repeat foot traffic. But nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, it's still a must-see. One of the places that's in the top 20 of Google's tourist traps in the U.S. is the San Francisco Fisherman's Wharf. And I got upset about that one. I genuinely did. I'm like, now that one has been on my bucket list for years. And I don't care if it's a tourist trap. I want to go see it for myself. I want to go experience why people think it's a tourist trap. And I may walk away and go, wow, that was not a must-see, but I'm not going to call it a tourist trap. I'm just going to say, well, that's a one and done. Okay, so it's like Mount Washington, right? Now, don't get me wrong, that's not a tourist trap, but I will say, for me, for my personal taste, it's a one and done. I went and seen it. I got pictures. I got video. I got a T-shirt, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm good. I can check that one off of my bucket list. However, there are places that are not a one and done that remain on the must-see list so that I can go see them again and again and again, like Niagara Falls. Like, there's places in Florida where the manatees are. There's places in Tennessee. Every state has, places to go visit that you want to go visit over and over and over again. And the problem is we're given this life, and we only have so many days in our life, and we don't know how many days that is. So we have to use those days wisely and make them count. So if you go see the same attraction over and over and over and you don't go see something else, then you're going to miss out. And I really want to see more of this big, beautiful world. And I'm trying to cover it as fast as I can. But, it's unfortunately, I wasn't born with a gold spoon in my mouth. I was born with a spoon in my mouth. Hence, that's why I'd like to eat. But it's not a gold spoon. Okay, scrap that. We're moving on here. We're talking about tourist traps. And I don't like the word, because you could take 100 people, okay? And I'll let you pick them. You pick out 100 people, and we're going to pick one tourist, what is considered to be a tourist trap, and we're going to send those 100 people in there. We're going to pay their way. We're going to go enjoy yourself, and come back and let us know what you think of it. And you're going to probably get at least 30 different opinions. because each third of that 100 is going to have a different opinion. And you actually, in all actuality, may get more opinions than that, because you may get 10 people say, man, that's the coolest place I've ever been to. And you may get 10 people say, why, even though you paid for it, why did you send me there? And so that's the thing, folks. It's like when you plan your vacations, remember, you've worked all year long for that vacation. Plan that vacation so that you're going to get the most out of that, whether it's 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, whatever the case may be. Plan that trip so that you get the most out of it. And if somebody says, oh, don't go here because it's a mega tourist trap and it's just going to take all your money, you could be missing out on a very awesome must-see. So don't listen to that. Do your own research. Get kind of an idea of why they think it's a tourist trap. And then do your research and be like, you know what? This may be what they consider to be a tourist trap. But for me, it's a must-see. The Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco, that's a must-see. Clifton Hill in Canada, that's a must-see for me. Times Square in New York City, hello, I'm sorry, is this thing on? I'm telling you, that is a must-see. Okay, I got one for you. How about this one? You're going to love this one. Are you sitting down? Are you buckled up? Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because I'm fixing to give you one that if people do not, it's a matter of fact. I remember, and I'm going to post this on my social media tomorrow. I'm going to post what the top 20 tourist traps, according to Google, is or was or could be, to let you see what that list is. But I got one for you. So right now, I want you to sit down. I want you to grab a hold of the steering wheel or the chair or arms on the chair or whatever it is you got around you. I want you to grab a hold of it and hang on. Make sure you're buckled up, because here it comes, ladies and gentlemen, Las Vegas. I'm sorry. If Las Vegas is not on the list of a tourist trap, something that you're, one, not going to get the value for your money. Have you seen the prices of those hotels? Look, I'm not buying the room. I just want to sleep there. The price of the food? Who else meals am I paying for here? Am I buying am I buying shares into the restaurant? We're not even going to talk about the casinos because we already know what that stuff is. The shopping there. I mean, where else can you go and buy a mink fur and a Maserati in the same convenience store? So I'm saying this to make the point of, if that's not a tourist trap, I don't know what is. Because they define a tourist trap as you're not going to get the value for your money. Well, hello. When have you been to a tourist attraction that you did get value for money? You been to a theme park lately? You call that a value? I'm glad they don't do the same consensus on a what do you call it? Those value meals. So if I go to McDonald's and I get a value meal and I get it's a burger, fries, and a drink, and it's a value meal, but it costs me $8,000, well, that's not a very good value, is it? Same thing with going to Vegas and spending $500 on a hotel room, and dinner's going to cost me $400. I'm sorry, that's not a value for my money. So that's what we have to do, is we have to look at our budget when we plan our trips, and we make sure that we get the value out of our money. But I want to lose the language of tourist trap. It either for me has to be a must-see or a one and done, because I still want to see it. I don't care what they say. I still want to see it. I still want to experience it for myself. I can add that to my list of experiences that I've had in my life. Okay, I've been to Clifton Hill. Oh, okay, well, what did you think of it? Well, my opinion is da-da-da-da-da. I liked it. I will go back. So there's that. I hope that I have made some kind of progress in all of this to give you an idea of when you plan your trip, don't listen to let me rephrase that before I even finish the sentence. If you're going to take in some tourist attractions that are for you and your family a must see, then by all means do your research. And even if some people say, well, that's a tourist trap and it's going to take all your money, great. I've worked all year for it anyway. I'm looking to donate some. And in the return, maybe I'll get some, meaningful memories back. But if you really want a good memory, stop at Peach World in Georgia or stop at Citrus World and get you one of those back scratchers with the little plastic alligator on top. It's really cool. You got to have one of those. I'll post a picture of that tomorrow. But hey, again, I've had so much fun tonight talking about this. I hope every one of you have a great day. Do not forget to caffeinate and conquer, because that, ladies and gentlemen, is not a tourist trap. that is meaningful activity is what that is. That is a must-see, must-do, and repeat it as necessary. But again, this is episode 50 in the books. I appreciate each and every one of you so much. This show has grown beyond my wildest dreams, and I hope every one of you is having as much fun with it as I have. Do not forget to go. Anybody that knows of a tourist attraction that is a good value for the money, I want to know about it. Send it on over. I want to look through them. We'll talk about them next week. But until we talk about those next week, do not forget to caffeinate and conquer, and have a great day. And I'll see you right here next week, right here behind this great big old mic. Have a great day. Bye-bye.